Hey everyone, Jordan here from ADRENO, and today we are talking about snorkels and how to pick the best one for your adventure. So there's a few different types of snorkels that we can choose from. The first snorkel that we're going to look at, and probably the most basic snorkel that we do offer, is our standard J snorkel style snorkel. So there's not much to these snorkels. It is just your pipe and your mouthpiece on the bottom here. Generally, what you want to look at with these particular snorkels is the mouthpiece, how big are the actual bite molds, and the actual clip as well, how easy it's going to be to clip onto your mask. For me, this particular snorkel is going to be, aimed at your free divers, your spearos, and your scuba divers. I generally don't recommend it too much for snorkelers, just because when you go duck diving, you're going under the water, this whole portion of the snorkel fills up with water. By the time you get back up to the surface and you blow that water out, you have to force it all the way from the mouthpiece back up. So if you're not really experienced or comfortable in the water, trying to expel that water can be quite difficult. That being said though, if you are quite experienced, they're a lightweight snorkel and they are good quality. So it does depend on how comfortable you are as well. For your scuba divers, I generally wear these types of snorkels. Our ADRENO one here specifically is a fold-up snorkel. So that actually sits quite comfortably and nicely into my BCD pocket. You don't have to have it on your mask if you don't want to. Some of the clips are a little bit different. As you can see on the ADRENO one, it is just a silicone strap, whereas some other ones like our Bochet do have more of a hard style clip which slides over your mask strap. So yeah, if you're a spearo, freediver, or scuba diver, that's probably your best choice. Next we move on to our semi-dry snorkel. The reason why it's a semi-dry snorkel is because at the top here we have what we'd call a splash guard. So that does stop waves or rain or kind of any water movement coming over the top and entering in the snorkel. It doesn't stop it 100%, so there will be a little bit of water that can possibly come through. The other reason why it's a semi-dry snorkel is because on the bottom here we have a purge valve. And what that purge valve does is it allows water to be expelled from the bottom of the snorkel. So again, if you like doing duck diving, you're a snorkeler, you're going under the water, again, this will fill up with water. You get back up to the surface, you blow out. Instead of the water being forced back up to the top, it comes straight out the bottom. So you don't have to hold as much air in your lungs to get rid of that water. If you're fairly experienced or a bit of a beginner, this is a great snorkel to go for if you're a snorkeler or a spearo. For me, when I spearfish, I generally will have a snorkel like this. And the reason being is when I'm on my surface interval, I'll keep my snorkel in my mouth. Any salt water or spit or anything like that will just drain out the bottom. So you won't get that kind of salty mouth feeling if you were to take your snorkel out of your mouth as well. Everything just runs out the bottom. The other good thing with that purge valve is that it's a one-way valve, so no water gets pushed back into it. It always shoots out the bottom, which is nice and handy. And then again, we've got our clip here, so it's a nice quick release mechanism. So again, a little bit different, but that's another thing that you want to look out for. Snorkelers, scuba divers, you can use it for scuba diving. It's not going to be the end of the world. The only reason why I don't normally recommend it is just because it's quite big and bulky. This section here, where it's a little bit softer, it is designed to have that snorkel fall away. From my experience, it generally smacks you in the face a little bit more than what you'd like. So for me, this snorkel's not really suited for scuba, but if you are someone out there that does 50-50 scuba and a bit of snorkeling, it's not a bad option for just your one overall snorkel for both disciplines. From there, we're going to move on to our DryTop snorkels. So this is a complete dry top. The difference between this and a semi-dry is at the top here in all these snorkels, there's a little mechanism and it moves up and down. So what that does is it shuts the snorkel completely off when you go underwater. So for snorkeling, if you're someone that is a complete novice, you've never been in the water before, you don't like water in your face or anything like that, something like this is going to be your best option. The way it works, when you put your head down, or if you do try and do a duck dive, that mechanism shuts off and it stops the water going into the snorkel. Then when you come back up, that water pressure holds that in place, and by the time you get back up to the surface and you blow that water out, there's not really going to be any water in there, but if there is a tiny little bit, it comes straight out the bottom as well from that purge valve. So really, really good quality snorkel for anyone that's looking at getting into snorkeling for the first time and aren't that comfortable in the water. You're not really going to be using something like this for spearing or for free diving or scuba diving as such. And the reason being is just because it's quite big and bulky. The one downside with this particular style of snorkel is as soon as you start adding in more components, if you don't wash them or clean them quite thoroughly, salt water, that mechanism in there will fail. So it's just really important to understand that when you do get back from your snorkeling trip, that you do give all of your gear a nice clean and a really good thorough wash, otherwise that mechanism will potentially fail a lot quicker than you'd like. Another section, that soft part in the snorkel there again, is going to be designed to hold that snorkel a little bit away from your face. So it should be designed to make you as comfortable, as relaxed, and as confident in the water as possible. For me, this is a really good snorkel to go for if you are just getting into snorkeling. When it comes to choosing the right snorkel for your discipline, whether you're snorkeling, free diving, scuba diving or spearfishing, just remember a few things to look out for. The weight, the mouthpiece mold, is it big enough? Is it small enough? Unfortunately, you can't try these in the store before you buy them, so you do just have to make a bit of a visual inspection before making your decision. Check out the clip and if there's any extra softer parts of the snorkel. For me personally, as I said, I like a standard J snorkel for scuba diving. Lightweight, small, and I can fit them into my BCD if it has that flexi mesh material, which not all of them have. And then for spearfishing, I like something that has a bit of a purge valve in there just to stop any salt water getting into my mouth. So if you are looking at buying your first snorkel, do come into one of our stores, have a chat to our friendly staff members, let them know what you're doing. They will definitely help you in getting the best snorkel for your adventure. If you can't get into our stores, jump online, check out our features and benefits of each product, or give us a call as well. Happy to have a chat to you guys over the phone and get the best deal for you. Cheers.